Great to see you here. My name is Luc de Kuster, founder of the Kuster Academy. And in this very short video, I will talk about the major components that you typically find in agreements. But before we continue, don't forget to click on the subscribe button, click on the bell button, and every time we have a new video, YouTube will inform you about it. So let's have a look at those different components. First of all, we have the general terms and conditions. We also have legal descriptions, legal informations, and typically a company has a general set of legal terms, the standard contract. When I was working with AT&T, one of the things that sometimes happened is that in order to get an agreement with a customer, they don't always agree with the general terms and those conditions. Now, once these have been developed by the company's lawyers and have been accepted, they will not be changed because you have a new contract. What happens typically, if you want to have a change of those terms and conditions, you will have some additional, let's say, attachments or annexes to the general terms and conditions, which describe the differences, the special items for that agreement. Of course, they have to go through the legal department, and once they have been approved, together with the general terms and conditions, they become in fact the terms and conditions for this specific agreement. Of course, we find the procurement statement of work. Here we have the major deliverables. We have to describe what we want to buy, what the supplier has to supply. We may have some schedule information. We can look at the schedule information which can be agreed based on the actual start of the agreement or a certain specific time. It's very important when you have legal consequences when you provide certain items too late. For example, you cannot order or you cannot start programming a router or designing a network until you have all the information from the customer. How can you do that? So basically you need that information, and from the moment you have that information, a time schedule can start. We have reporting formats and obligations that will be described in the agreement. We have the total and detailed price and payment conditions. It depends on the agreement. You may have a total price, or you can have a detailed price giving all the different elements and the cost of these different elements and quantities to lead to the final cost of the agreement. It can be an attachment, and in the agreement you can just say, this is the total conforming the attachment in which you find the detailed prices. Very important, acceptance criteria, inspections and quality standards, what we will have to verify when we receive the goods. Is the three-way inspection that we had. We have to see, can we accept the goods? So do they comply with the criteria? Do we do inspections? And what are the quality standards that we have to look at? We also have incentives and penalties. We've spoken about that. Incentives when you're earlier or you provide better quality or things like that. And penalties when something is not according to the standards. Penalty may even be complete cancellation of the contract with fines to pay. There may be insurance and performance bonds. There may be approvals related to subordinate subcontractors if you have to deal with subcontractors, or the supplier is dealing with subcontractors. You have to see that these also comply with the standards that you want to get. Change request procedures. What happens if we want to have changes? How can we deal with that? And of course, termination clauses and alternative dispute resolution mechanisms. Very interesting termination clause is when the contract is finished. Basically, the contract is terminated when all the deliverables have been provided, have been approved. And that could be, let's say, the classical termination, but there can also be other termination clauses that can be added to the agreement. So that was a short presentation about the components that you can find in agreements. I thank you for viewing. Anyway, don't forget to click on the subscribe button, click on the bell button, and every time we have a new video, YouTube will inform you about it. Thank you and bye-bye.